And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, August the 27th, 2022, Season 16, Episode 29. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Welcome to the show, everyone who is here with us. Thank you very much. We've got, we're not doing a show next week.
Okay.
Labor Day weekend here. So we are not going to do a show next week. Running a replay for that. You got any plans? You doing anything?
No, I'll probably be helping my folks out.
Yeah?
Most likely, yeah. Labor Day is one of those holidays that'll just sneaks up on me. It's like I forget it's a holiday. And there's all of a sudden, suddenly it's Labor Day, you're off. Do something. Then I'm going to end up making something up as I go along, but usually I just go help my folks out that day.
Yeah, it was never, I always knew when it was coming by because that was normally when I would be going to Seattle for PAX. So I'd be talking about, here's who I've got lined up to meet with and who I'm going to be talking to and the games I'm going to be ordered. I got my whole schedule. Blah, it was nothing. Nah. I don't even know. I got an invite to a couple of parties that haven't been around since the last time I was there, and I kind of miss the fact that I'm not going to be able to make those. Because and the parties were just game developers who would be there or publishers who were doing their, get-together type stuff. And it would be nice to talk to the developers there, and it's very much a non-professional type of thing where it's like, talk about other games. There's no interviews or anything going on.
Yeah. Just
hanging out. So I kind of miss the fact that I won't be able to do that this year, but I don't know, maybe next year. We'll see. Which is fine. That's why I kind of always remember Labor Day, and then if not, there's Dragon Con going on in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which is always a thing. I haven't been to that in I don't know when the last time I was there. Well, I've talked about the last time I was there. It was in the mid to early 90s was the last time I was there. My dad took me because I couldn't drive. So he took me to Dragon Con.
Most people talk about Dragon Con. It's the scale of it, basically.
Right.
How big it is. And they go there one time. They're like, you want to go back next year? Like, no.
The scale of it when I went was nothing compared to what it is now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, the scale of it when I was there, like Image Comics has just started. It was more comic books than anything else.
Right.
Now it's far from, it's comics, obviously, but they had like a whole vendor floor of people just selling their comic books.
Yeah.
And that was it. It wasn't like vendor floor of here's, movie props or vinyls no, it's just comic books.
Yeah.
That was it. Wasn't VHS tapes of anime or nothing like that. It was, or DVDs, whatever they're going to do now. Nothing like that. It was just comic books.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Well, like any long running convention or whatnot, it grows with time.
It does.
So like AWA, which I go to every year. It's like used to be that one little Marriott Suites, the little minor version of the Marriott somewhere, and it was held there. Now it's taking up all of the Renaissance Hotel.
I went there once.
Yeah, we used to carry like one convention and something else going on, like two things going on at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the best combination still was AWA and something with Homeland Security. So you had folks dealing with a Homeland Security convention at the Renaissance Waverly, and then not even 5 feet away, you had the costume ball. So folks running around in their anime outfits right next to the folks with Homeland Security. So big dudes with security guards there right next to the dude in the full-bodied mascot outfit running all in the same area.
I went one year to AWA, and I can't remember where it was. I did not recognize the venue. Mm-hmm. It was not a hotel that was downtown or anything like that. It was not.
Well, it's been in the Renaissance Waverly for, I want to say the last decade.
Yeah, well, I went before then. I went in the 90s.
Okay.
Again, late 90s is when I went.
All right.
I was working at the movie theater, and there were some people at the movie theater like, hey, we're going to go up here to this convention thing. Hey, you should come. All right. So I rode with them up there. It was one-time only thing. That was it. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, I found the game room where some people were playing games. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, this is familiar to me.
Yeah.
Everything else was completely not familiar.
Yeah. First console you make all your mistakes at.
Yeah, I was but it was, one of those things. Okay, I went. There we go. Yeah. Done. They were talking about how great it is, and we didn't spend the night. It was just a day trip up there and back.
Yeah, it's not enough. I mean,
well, no, it was small, man.
I know it was small, but you still had multiple days. You still got day 0 when just to get there, and then day 1 is like, people who are excited to get there the first time. But the real fun doesn't really start till about day 2, the Saturday, when everybody's available to go. Like sometimes some folks couldn't get out of work or whatever, school or whatnot on that Friday. So everyone's going to be there for Saturday.
That's exactly how PAX works.
What it was,
yeah, PAX works the same way. Like Friday, well, you could, well, now it's different. I think you can still get badges to go to PAX, which is not how it used to be. It used to be tough to get those things, but you can, Saturday would sell out almost instantly.
Yeah.
Sunday would do that too because you had the holiday weekend. The Labor Day weekend. So Saturday would do it, Sunday would do it, and then it would be a contest between Monday and Friday as to which one would sell out first, and usually it'd be Monday, and then there'd just be Friday badges left, that sort of thing. But no, not that way anymore, and we'll see how it goes. I meant to say, if you want to get in touch with us, call our phone number at 334-272-2587, 334-272-2587 is one number to get in touch with us. Oops, I got to turn Discord on here. That reminded me. There we go. The other number, the other one is Discord. Call us on or hit us up on Discord. Jump into the chat room there and talk with us live on the air.
Which sounds better.
Sounds great. Go to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat. You can also find us on Facebook there. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We are streaming right now on Twitch. Well, Twitch is that way. Discord's this way. We're streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv and search for In-Game Chat. You'll be able to find us. And you can watch live while we broadcast. You can also join in the chat room. We got some people in the chat room right now with Bama Brian, AC Wraith, Thar66 as well. If I'm missing, let's see, who else? Drunk Degenerates is in there, TCF13, and True Dalbert. Hanging out so far. We might get some more people in the chat room there, and that'd be great if we do, and if not, that's fine too. Let's jump into it. What have you been playing, man?
Well, lately I've been playing Elden Ring. I got back into that.
Yeah.
I started playing my one of my alt characters, and I found a new way to start playing. All this time I'm playing Dark Souls, I've always used the shield, shield for the for defense and everything. But because the problem was basically any weapon that I carried, it blocked defense maybe half the damage it would take, so whatever. But I found out that the weapon I'm using with my alt character blocks 80% of incoming damage. So I'm like, wait, do I really need to carry a shield if it's doing that much? Because I've got spells that will gradually increase my health, so I don't have to worry about that. So it'd be a lot lighter. I'd be a lot lighter not having to carry a huge great shield.
Yeah.
That would take up my weight limit. So I'm trying to experiment and seeing how well I can do with health management without a shield, just using my weapon to block, use it for all purpose and whatnot. So I've been doing with that. Played a little bit more of Virtua Fighter 5. I'm still trying to get my fight count up. I mean, it's still amazing, seeing people who are still playing that game, still a lot of love for it, but people have like tens of thousands, 20,000 matches under their belt, and here I am sitting at, I've just broke 400 matches, so, I need to get that number up, really, and see if I can get my rank up to where I want it to be.
I did not have this in the news feed, in our news feed here, but I'm curious if you got to see it. And if not, feel free to look it up and take a look at it if you want to.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you take a look at some of that gameplay? Well, it was gameplay.
Because you're thinking of Gamefly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Take a look at some of the gameplay from. That's what's doing it. The from part is getting in there. Mm-hmm. Take a look at some of the gameplay from Team Ninja's new game. And I don't remember the name of it, but it is a very Souls inspired game, which I figured might interest you because I know you have a soft spot for Team Ninja, as do I. They're really great, but also it's got a little Souls in there too. You may need to look that. I tell you what, let me see. Team Ninja Souls game. Is it Wolong Fallen Dynasty?
Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Okay,
that's the one.
Okay.
I thought there was new gameplay. That's the reveal trailer. When was this published? June 12th. No. This would have been new. I wonder if it came from Gamescom. I bet it did. Yeah, there we go. First gameplay. Wow. Okay. Did you find it?
PS5?
Is it? I don't know.
Gamepay. See, I'm doing it now.
It can't be. Didn't Team Ninja get bought by Microsoft?
I'm not sure. I don't know what their
Here,
history was.
I'm gonna put this. Yeah, there we go. AC Wraith just beat me to it.
Yeah.
So there.
Glad to see some gameplay trailer of from YouTube. I was looking at came out the 26th.
Yeah, this is the 26th. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I see Souls S, but I'm thinking of right now. Matter of fact, now that I see it, it looks exactly like Sekiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Sekiro already.
Well, didn't Team Ninja do Neo?
Yeah, they did. I think so.
Yeah, maybe they're channeling a little bit of Neo here. Mm-hmm. Is it Neo? Is that how it's pronounced? Neo. Okay.
Neo, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting Sekiro vibes off of this, which is a game I need to finish. By the way, still need to finish.
Yeah, that was some gameplay. The last time we saw was just a cinematic trailer or something like that. But
yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the Sekiro traits in this one. I wonder if the defense is going to be the same way. You know, just basically timing your parries instead of blocking, because blocking gets you killed.
Why did I think that Microsoft bought Team Ninja?
Maybe they bought something similar. Made you think of them.
Oh, who's the group that did that's doing Hellblade? Who is that? Hang on, I got to look this up now because it's just going to bother me. Developers, Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory.
That's
okay.
what I'm thinking of. Never mind. Yeah, Ninja Theory is the ones who did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still Team Ninja. What was their Neo and Neo 2, and probably some others in there. Did they do the Ninja Gaiden remakes?
Team Ninja, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of difficulty, like we were talking about earlier, their version of Ninja Gaiden was that was difficult.
So you're back into Elden Ring and back doing some fighting games, huh?
Elden Ring, Virtua Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5. Trying to get back into that as well. Trying to get getting my fight count up and learning some matchups, things of that nature. I don't think I was able to play any Destiny 2 this week. I was busy working on those 3 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's worth talking about, maybe. Let me see. Okay. Well, lethal migraine's not in the chat room there. Not that it matters if I'm going to talk about Destiny or not, regardless. But I was just going to give him a heads up.
Yeah.
This might get long.
So you did some work then.
Well, I was prepping, I was prepping for that day one raid. I was prepping for trying to be, okay, I want to get as much as I can get into this thing so I can be ready on Friday when the raid goes live at noon and I can find a group and jump in there and play.
Okay, wait a minute. The tone you're using indicates that
it didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go.
Something went wrong.
No.
Wait, what happened,
actually, nothing went wrong, but I mean, that was my first attempt at a day one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And when a raid goes live, for the first 24 hours, it is in what is called a contest mode.
Right.
Contest mode basically sets your level regardless of what your level is. It puts you at the lowest possible thing that you can do damage with.
Okay.
So, and I don't know what that would be. It also sets the enemies at the highest that they can take, but without being immune.
What's about 10 levels above you, at least 15?
25.
25 levels above you.
Yeah. Let me give you, hang on.
So every shot better be critical.
Yeah, let me see. Contest mode, Destiny 2.
Goodness.
What is contest mode in Destiny 2? Contest mode, here we go.
Not direct quote.
Is the standard modifier any raid launches with in order to create an equal playing field on day one. For example, with contest mode on, the raid will drop your power level by 20 levels.
Okay.
So it's 20 less. They'll turn off the ability to use certain weapons as well as some armor pieces to ensure all complete fairness. Yeah.
Certain weapons are turned
Some
off?
of them are, yes.
I'm guessing your exotics.
Not all. No, not all exotics.
Okay.
There were, okay, so whenever we started a new season on Tuesday.
Right.
And with that came a new hotfix, patch notes, and everything else. Mm-hmm. They buffed grenade launchers, heavy grenade launchers, by 10%. They buffed them. They gave them a buff of 10% damage. The problem is it wasn't 10% they buffed them by. It was a mistake, and they buffed them by 150. Your one little crappy grenade launcher would melt a boss.
I like the word used, crappy, because my least favorite weapon in the entire game is grenade launchers.
But the heavy ones, not the
heavy ones.
Yeah.
Yes, the heavy ones and the little.
I know you don't like those.
I don't like either one of those things, man.
I know you don't.
little underhanded softball toss of no. I could throw a grenade faster than this thing launches it.
You need to try and find yourself a grenade launcher called Salvager's Salvo.
I had it.
You had it?
I think I've had that thing.
Well, it's a good one.
I think I got rid of it.
You probably did.
Was it an exotic?
No.
No. I picked up a grenade launcher that. Well, either way, I could make if it's worth a flip, I can remake it again. But yeah, go ahead.
Salvager's Salvo had this, and it would really work well with the arc modifications that they've done with this season. But like when it would explode, it was arc charged, and man, if you had a group, that was great because as it would explode one enemy, the arc lightning would chain to other enemies and then chain, and you would just have this massive, depending on how many enemies were there, just massive explosion.
So it worked well in groups.
It really did. Yeah, it was a very good group clear type thing.
So if someone had that and someone had a risk runner.
Yeah. Risk runner's great.
Yeah, just manage that. Okay.
But they only modified the heavy grenade launchers, so those things were doing way too much damage.
Right.
So they disabled grenade launchers. In fact, they disabled them for everybody, actually, because people were going into like Gambit or things like that and were just wrecking havoc.
Yeah.
There's a pre-order gun. Like if you pre-order Lightfall, which is the new expansion that comes out next year.
Yeah.
If you pre-ordered that, you got a gun from that expansion. It's an exotic. It's an auto rifle where if you get enough kills with it, it'll put grenades into the gun itself. So you can get, I think, stacks of 3 or 4 grenades.
Okay.
And so if you hold down the reload button, it switches over to a grenade launcher.
Okay.
And then at some point, I don't know how, but it can also do rockets.
Like an overstack?
It's something like that. But
yeah.
When it switched to grenade, it was doing the 150% buff of damage. And so they disabled that gun completely for the raid run. There were a few armor exotics that hadn't gone through, I guess, enough testing to realize that, okay, this is too much. This is not doing what it was intended to do, so they would disable those, that sort of thing. Okay. But yeah, contest mode, it drops you by 20 levels. It turns off the ability. The modifier stays active for 24 hours after the raid enters the games. Once the 24 hours are up, the modifier goes off, and then teams can go in and do whatever. That's how contest mode works. You are 20 levels lower than that. And it doesn't matter what your level is. So it wasn't like, I need to get my level up as high as I can because this thing's going to drop me by 20. So no. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're 20 levels down from whatever the enemy is. Mm-hmm. And it was rough. It was rough. I got through, we got through the entrance. And I don't know how much of the King's Fall raid you remember. Probably not much, I would think.
The one with the jumping puzzle where we died a lot?
With the ships, you had to jump on top of the ships as they were.
Yeah, I discovered I had the wrong jump attribute on my Titan. Yeah. Couldn't get no lift.
Yeah. I'm curious about Titans because Titans now have that arc ability that just Thunder Crash, I guess, that just launches them. I don't know if you've used it yet.
I've been using it.
You basically turn into a missile. And I'm curious if you can just launch yourself across the castle.
I think
Probably not.
I'm guessing what that attributes to is the
Thunder Crash, Thunder Clap, maybe.
Well, I don't remember the name of that thing, but
Titan.
Arc for a Titan was basically you jump up and you slam the ground and make this big burst of arc energy.
There's that too.
But it was more powerful the higher you dropped from. Mm-hmm. So if you jump from really up on high and then hit the ground doing that, it caused huge damage.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they wanted to take the vertical drop and make that drop horizontal, I guess. And cause
no, I think that still applies. You have 2 or 3 different versions.
I know
of
you
the
have
arc,
different versions, but I mean, big damage going vertically up and down. Now you got big damage going left to right across the screen now.
Like a missile.
Yeah, basically. One's a bomb, one's a missile.
Exactly. And so there's that as well. Oh, there's lethal migraine.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming in. So I don't know where I was going with this, but so we got through the first the opening encounter, which is just you beginning the raid. You have to dunk these orbs at these what are they called?
Receptacles.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. At these statues.
Yeah.
Then once you got through that, you did the jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got through that, you started with what was called totems. And it was basically just this massive doorway. And the team of 6 had to split into 2 groups of 3, one going left, one going right, do their mechanics, and then, one person would have a buff that would stack so many times, run to the center, deposit that buff, and that would light up the door. Mm-hmm. And as soon as it got all the way to the top, the encounter was over and the door would open, and then you could go in and have your first boss encounter. Mm-hmm. That was where we stopped, was at that first boss encounter. Like, we got to him, he was called the War Priest. We got to him and basically couldn't get much further. And I ducked out about 8 o'clock last night. Just before 8, I was like, yeah, guys, I'm sorry, I'm done. Can't do it. I mean, whew.
Were people getting one shot, one kill?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, it was, 2 hits, depending on what you were hit with, could take you out. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was up there when we were trying to wipe the team to go and, restart the encounter. There's a big orb behind the War Priest, and if you jump close to that orb, you'll just instantly die. I was trying to go do that to kill myself, and he did a slam that I was right next to. It took a lot of health, but it didn't kill me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I can withstand that, but still, jumped in there and killed myself so we could start the encounter over.
I'm wondering how Ward of Dawn would work in there.
Which one's that? What's Ward of Dawn?
The orb, Titan orb.
Is that the one with the bubble?
The bubble shield.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. That thing that I was doing with the last raid we all went on together.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, exactly. So the way that works is when it's time for you to do damage, mm-hmm. Everybody groups up because somebody has this buff that everybody needs to be standing next to get the same buff from them. Your Titan would throw a bubble in the back while your Warlock would put down the well for everybody mm-hmm. to stay alive. Then you'd dip into the bubble mm-hmm. because it would enhance it would amp your weapons up to do more damage.
Right.
So dip in, step back out, shoot, back forth. So yeah, the bubble still works. Mm-hmm. So perfectly fine in doing that. But we didn't. That was as far as the team that I was with got, and I left them at 8. And they still had like 24 hours. Well, I say 24 hours, but they still had until noon the next day. Noon today to finish it. And mm-hmm. so I got on this morning and I hit one of the guys up who had originally invited me to that group and was still there. I was like, hey, how'd it go? He's like, we never got past that War Priest. We kept bringing people in, but we never got past it. I was like, oh, okay. Which made me feel better about the fact that I ducked out when I did. And, probably should have ducked out earlier, but I'm glad I didn't keep banging my head against that wall.
Yeah.
So anyway,
need to fall back, come up with a strategy.
Yeah. We're gonna run it tonight. Contest mode won't be enabled. This should be, and that's a jinx if I ever heard one. This should be.
Yeah.
For most of us, though, it's really familiar. And, oh man, it was great seeing some of that stuff again. And they've changed some things. Not much, but they've changed up a few things.
Right.
Here and there. So, yeah, that's it. Let me go to the phones. I hope it works. Hi, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
It's me. It's Chris from on vacation.
What's up, man? Where you vacationing at?
Well, we're in Oregon. We're in a little town called Lebanon, Oregon, and what I walked in and saw in the corner of the room made my whole week. They have a little arcade in here, and they have Super Mario Brothers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tekken 3, 1943, Super Asteroid. It made my week.
Oh, you're talking good nostalgia there, man. Is it a Play Choice 10 on the Mario arcade?
I'm not sure. I don't know what it is, but the Turtles is only a 2-player, so some of them might not be original. But 1943. I mean, regardless, if the kids can enjoy it that didn't grow up with it like we did, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I remember Play Choice 10.
yeah, Play Choice 10. It was the only way I could play Nintendo back then.
That's old, man. I remember Play Choice 10. Wow.
Yeah, I remember when they had those in the bowling alley at Brunswick. And I think they may have had one at Bama too. Can't remember, but we're loving the weather out here. It's fantastic.
I can imagine it is compared to what we were dealing with here, which is just, oppressive heat, basically. Hadn't been too bad, but it was nothing but rain for the past couple of days.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 days of nothing but rain. And then the heat came back and made it muggy.
Yeah, I haven't had this many mushrooms growing in my yard in a long time.
Eat them.
And while we're out here, I met Chuck Legg, which is, I may have talked to him in the past about the Laserdisc movie format. He's known as the king of Laserdisc. He has over 20,000 movies for sale on his online store, probably more in his house. I mean, pretty much like a Hoarders episode on Hoarders, but it's stacked and and organized. Had to walk sideways down the aisles, and I found 3 anime series from Japan. No subtitles, all in Japanese. Marge Orange Road, the complete box set. Final Fantasy, which was 4 volumes, and another one that was based off of a video game is the OVA, the Legend of Heroes Dragon Slayer, that was based off the TurboGrafx 16 CD role-playing game from way back in the day. And I spent 7 Benjamins with him.
Good Lord.
But they're ultra rare, so, I mean, if I'm going to find some of this stuff, I never find anywhere else in the world, so... considering how ultra rare they are, I guess it's well spent, and I got to talk with him and his wife for a good hour or so, and had a blast with my father and him talking and telling stories and meeting him. So it was worth it to see his collection. We had to step in there very carefully,
I can
and
imagine.
had to have good balance too.
Yeah. The thing about laser discs, Chris, they exist, right? Big collections. There 20,000 plus that he's got in there.
Yeah.
The only thing
he has probably 20,000 listed on his store that he manages, but yeah, it's shelves and shelves 6-7 foot high.
Yeah. The thing that I'm thinking about though is, if it's not for collectability, players. I mean, goodness, where would you find?
Oh yeah, he had players in there too.
He's got players too. Okay.
He gets into all that kind of stuff. He's got video game collections he bought from different people. He's spread it around about everywhere, but he's mainly known for the Laserdisc stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
cool.
That's you're in heaven, I know. All right. Well, how long are you guys going to be there?
Till next weekend. We're planning on leaving out the 4th on Labor Day.
Headed back, or are you going somewhere else, or what's the deal?
We're staying over here in this area for another full week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good.
Well, dude, have fun, man, and have a safe trip. Enjoy your trip, and have a safe trip back.
Hey, and enjoy that weather too while you're up there, man.
Yeah. Enjoy the weather.
And we're planning on seeing the rock formation that was from the Goonies we're right along that area, so I plan on taking some pictures of
The
that
stack. I think
famous formation.
Yeah, I think they're called the stacks or something. Is that what they're called?
I can't remember, but yeah, I've got it tagged on my phone on Google Maps. But yeah, we've got some pictures and videos of the gorgeous weather and scenery along the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Goodness.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
Hey,
man.
take
See
care
ya
now. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
later.
Mm-hmm.
God, what is it called? Haystack Rock. Yeah,
okay.
Haystack Rock. Yep. That's something I need to go do.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go see Haystack Rock, and then I go see the house. And that's it. Yeah, I'm good. And maybe I'll do that on a trip to Seattle. I don't know how far that is from... That's probably not too far from where Seattle is. Probably quite a drive, but I've driven across the state of Washington. I could probably do a drive over into Oregon. So... Anyway, so yeah, Destiny, we'll talk about that a little bit later because they had their whole expansion reveal, as well as the new season that's going on right now that started on Tuesday with the ARC stuff. Have you dipped into any of that yet or no?
Only thing I did was take my Warlock and put her back on Arc because it's new. Just made sure everything was set the way I wanted, and then went back to Void on Titan.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, I still got to work on Stasis for the expansion before the Witch Queen.
I hated Stasis. I did it on one character. That's it.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I'm probably not gonna build it up. I'll probably just make it available. But building it up, no, probably not.
Not until they remove, which I don't think they're going to remove it anymore. But if they could just do something to where we can get all that stuff for Stasis and we don't have to go through all the stupid missions to do it. It was so annoying. God, that was a grind.
There was a lot of missions, a lot of well, of course, the ones I hate doing, PvP. There was a bunch of PvP missions that you had to do, put opponents in stasis in PvP missions. It's like,
I know.
They're hard enough to hit as is. I can't hit it with this.
Lethal Migrant says that beach is 4 hours from Seattle. That is doable. That is easily doable. Thank you, Lethal. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll jump into that's all I played, by the way. I didn't play anything else. I did. I did get. I got Steve to join me in No Man's Sky.
Okay.
He gave me a tour of his freighter and his big whatever, his ship and all this other stuff. He gave me a little tour of that, and then he. Did he give it to me or did he? Yeah, he put something in his storage which I could get through as well and get from him. Mm-hmm. And it was some kind of element. And then I went back to the store to sell that element because he was like, yeah, I'm just going to give you this. And then you sell that and that'll get you all the money. It was like 15 million credits, units, things, whatever. 15 million in-game currency. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow, I got so many achievements from that. Because there's little tiers of hey, have 50,000, have 100,000, have 500,000, have 1 million, have 10 million. It's just boom, boom, boom.
I was about to say, how fast will those achievements drop?
I know, because I've got 15 million now. So no, it went great. And then did I do anything with it afterwards? Nope. I got on the next day and I thought, you know what, I need to run the rest of these little bounty things that I was hoarding for Destiny, hoarding bounties so that I could turn them in the day of the thing goes live. Yeah. Which, by the way, turning those in, all 3 characters got me through level 25 or 27 of the season pass. Mm-hmm. So 27 levels in, and it got me 11 artifact mods unlocked out of a total of, I think, 21 or something like that. So it got me halfway through that. It really was vroom, I was fast. But didn't finish the raid on day 1. So, Which is what we're doing tonight. We're going to do the raid tonight with the group, with the clan group. This was nobody in the clan ran this thing with me. It was me trying to find a pickup group. Mm-hmm. Plenty of people looking for people to run with for this thing. And so I grabbed a totally random group and ran with them. Which was fine, but our clan hasn't done it. Most of the people in the clan are vets from D1 who know, what we're doing tonight. So, going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will dive into, I don't know, lots of news. We had Gamescom. We had Destiny reveal. There was a lot of new games, or a lot of games shown off for Gamescom. So we'll run down that list for you. Music here from a game called Cursed. I think it's Cursed Golf, or Cursed to Golf. Well, the track is, this is called Cursed to Golf, but I thought it was just called Cursed Golf. Anyway, it's a fun little game. I don't know what to call it. I'm not exactly sure. You would think it's a golf game, right? I don't know. Maybe. Might be. Letha Migraine says Saints Row is quite fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it, because critics did not, apparently, from what I was reading about that. And I think I've got a little news note on it. And I haven't watched any reviews or read any reviews to see what their complaint is. But
I think I watched some YouTube videos of a stream that one of my favorite YouTubers put out there. I looked at that, and then I saw some reviews as well, and I read some stuff here and there, and I think I got a general consensus of what the main complaints are about that game.
I did watch the first 15 minutes or first 10 minutes, something IGN had posted. I was like, all right, that doesn't look bad. I realize it's just the intro mission, and so there's a lot more to do with it. But yeah. So anyway, music here from Cursed to Golf. We'll be right back with more in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Sounds like a college football game. This is music from the new season of Destiny 2. Of course I'm going to throw that in there. Season of the Plunder. It's very pirate themed. This is called I Privateer. The track on this one. Yeah, that launched Tuesday. The whole the seasonal activity is you and 6 other players have a spaceship that's looking like a pirate ship, but it's in space because that's just how it works. And you get some of the enemies are coming on board the ship. You get rid of them. Then you use these cannons to blow holes in the ship across the way. Then you use these other cannons to launch yourself into those holes. And then you fight on that ship going from the bottom deck all the way to the top deck where you take out the captain. So there you go. And then you just rinse and repeat, and you keep doing it over and over again. And that is the seasonal activity for it. Probably a lot of other things going on as well. You get map fragments, and you try to find buried treasure and all this other stuff. So
basically Cade's stash thing again.
Kind of. Yep. A little bit. So anyway, welcome back to the show. And let's see. I guess we ought to talk about, well, we only got 10 minutes. So let's hit short stuff, and then we'll hit Gamescom. All right. Right after that. We'll just jump into the Destiny stuff, because that's about 10 minutes, and then we can be done with it. Mm-hmm. They showed off Lightfall, which is the next expansion for Destiny 2. Comes out next year, February the 27th or the 28th. I can't remember. But it's something like that for Lightfall. Didn't really mention a lot other than the fact that we are going to get some kind of new ability again called Strand.
Yeah, I mean,
seems like it's got a poison effect.
Yeah, you got the look. I'm thinking at the end of this thing, you're going to have just you got 3 light-based attributes. You're going to have 3 dark-based attributes. So
right.
There you go. So first is stasis, second is strand, which is poison. You said. So freezing
seems
poison,
to be poison.
So freezing, poison, and I'm trying to think of some other well-known attribute that probably could be for the third.
Right.
I don't know. Not gonna think of anything. Whatever RPG or something.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Some status effect.
But yeah, you're probably right in that regard. So, story-wise, I won't get into it, but I'm very, very interested in what gets us to Neptune for some reason. Mm-hmm.
Some threat. Go stop threat.
Maybe. I don't know. Or, I mean, obviously, yes, a threat, but how did we get to Neptune? Are we leaving home? Are we leaving Earth to go to Neptune? See, I don't know. We'll find out at the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, I keep seeing all these things about losing the light. So something about something about the trial is going to be unavailable.
Well, I mean, the thing's called Lightfall.
Yeah, so.
And then the final expansion is called The Final Shape, and I don't know what that's going to be about either, but that's 2 years from now. So, or a year after this Lightfall thing comes out. What I did notice in some of their videos, and basically what they were talking about was that they're no longer going to get rid of previous expansions. Used to, it would be here, and then after the expand, or I say previous seasonal stuff, it's all going to stay in. They're not going to. In other words, we should still be able to play. What is that one? The 2 expansions we got of Destiny 2 at the very beginning. Don't you remember with Osiris? And
I don't know what they're called.
I can't remember what they were called either.
Whatever it is, we'll still get to play it then, right?
Right. It's no longer there. Right. But yeah, they're keeping that stuff in there now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that has to do with their deal with Sony, since Sony owns them now, or if that made it easier for them to do. I don't exactly know what that's.
So does that mean all the planets will come back?
I don't necessarily know that anything's coming back, just that no more stuff is going away.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm trying to read here. It says they want some level of continuity between the launch of Shadowkeep in 2019 and the conclusion of the Saga of Light and Darkness with the Final Shape in 2024 at some point. That 4-part arc revolves around encountering the darkness and its agents, and then it's a good starting point as any to stop pruning. Seasonal content, meanwhile, will seemingly still continue to filter out. Okay, never mind then. Seasonal content will be going away. But the expansion content won't. But is the seasonal content part of the maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. What they do know is that we're not getting a Destiny 3 anytime soon, and I was never expecting one. They also said this is what they're planning to do, and that doesn't always hold in some cases, that they plan on doing these things. We did get to see, this was interesting, we did get to see a player rating system.
Player rating.
Yeah. In other words, when you play with other players, if they're randoms or ever how it's, I don't know how it works. Mm-hmm. This is all coming next year. They're adding an in-game looking for group type thing. Okay. So, which is about time for them to have done this, really. You can do it on the app, but it'd be better to do it in game. But they're putting in a looking for group, an LFG, inside the game. And when you meet up with players and then you finish your content that you played with them, there's a rating screen afterwards where you can give them, a rating as to whatever it was. Now, I don't know how it works. It may be that they're all positive ratings, just general differences of positivity. Like, this guy was really helpful, or this guy just got me through this, carried me through this, mm-hmm. or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Bungie should know, given what they've gone through, that letting players rate other players, if not done well, can just
can get ugly quick.
Lead to horrible things.
Yeah, it can get ugly quick.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work.
Yeah.
The example, let's see, maybe I should read the article. With the launch of Lightfall's expansion, it's getting to add we're going to get a new loadout system too. So we can spec our character out, save that loadout, and then anytime we want to use that again, we just click that and it puts all that stuff on us that we need.
Switch stuff out without having to go to the start screen.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. New loadout system and an LFG. This previously, players were looking blah, blah, blah. A new Guardian commendation system is also coming to the game. It will let you rate other players post-activity. The more commendations you get, the more that other players will know your strengths. It's a bit like Guardian reviews. If you have lots of commendations, other players will know you make for a reliable fireteam member. It could have some potential issues, but on the plus side, it'll mean you can pick reliable players and guides for tough content.
Potential issues. Okay.
Yeah. See, I don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know much about it yet.
Yeah.
But you got to think that it's Bungie, man. They've been through, especially recently, they've been through some rough stuff with the player base. Mm-hmm. Well, specifically one player at least, but there's some toxic people out there, and a lot of them play video games.
Yeah. So I don't know why would you put on Bungie? I mean, it's like you're putting it in the hands of the players. And so whatever the game is, you give them access to things that they're going to take advantage of it. Like, this guy killed me 4 times in Gambit. I don't like him. He's
well,
trash.
That won't. Yeah, exactly. Unless you know the name of that person or whatever. But yeah. The mod menu and loadout system are also getting some much needed love. Currently, you have to change mods individually on every piece of armor. So if you don't use something like DIM, which did I ever introduce you to DIM, Destiny Item Manager? Yeah. If you don't use something like DIM, it takes multiple armor sets or a lot of mod switching if you want to change your build. This is something you frequently need to do for in-game content. They announced that they are introducing preset loadouts. You can change between armor and weapon sets quickly, and also that the mod menu will receive a complete overhaul to be more in line with the updated cosmetics screen. This will let players change all their mods at once and should make build crafting a lot simpler. So,
now, do you know, in terms of armor presets, that means you got to keep them on you? Or can you keep them in your storage?
Vault.
In your vault.
You can keep them in your vault.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of just like DEM works. It'll just pull from wherever they're at and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, you don't have to keep
You don't have to keep it on your person to get it affected. Okay.
Not at all.
That's good. That's good.
All of this drops alongside Guardian ranks, an 11-rank system that guides new players through the initial stages of Destiny 2 and generally shows other players how experienced you are at the game. Along with the reveal of Neptune as a destination, a new Darkness-based Sun-class strand, things are looking pretty exciting for Destiny 2 next year. Yes, it is. Already put in the pre-order for that as well. It's up on Steam. If you want to pre-order the game. Like I said, you don't have to. It's not really a big deal. You will get a new ghost shell, a new emote, and that new weapon I was talking to you about. You'll get that now if you pre-order Lightfall for next year. You can get it in the game now.
No, I still think about I think it's what we talked about before with the ships and the sparrows. I mean, what's the point of getting another ship or sparrow? I mean, they're still the same speed, or it has no other function other than just a shell of getting you from point A to point B.
Right.
If there was something if there was something they could do with it, like weapons on your Sparrow or weapons on your ship, if you have to do something like that for another gameplay, I mean, then it would matter, but it really doesn't. I mean,
Sparrows, I don't really care. The in-game traversal thing, I don't really care about.
Yeah, it's just the speed of it, really.
I'll still buy a few of them, and it's a very rare few. Like they had the one that looked like a little toy outside of a grocery store.
Yeah.
Little bitty one of those, which was kind of neat. The one I picked up most recently is the Mario Kart inspired one. I grabbed that one. Otherwise, I don't really care about those. Ships, on the other hand, and I don't buy, for the most part, I don't buy ships. I did buy the one that I currently have. But ships can be a way to tell other players that you did certain things, because sometimes they're only accessible if you complete a certain thing or do it solo, or you... I don't know. They're tied to achievements inside the game. Some of them can be. Most of the time I just see a ship. Remember the, I think it was a ship you got from King's Fall. It was this black thing that had stars and stuff inside of it, and it was nasty looking.
I don't know the name, but I think when you talk about it, looks like a stalactite or something.
Yeah.
It was a hideous looking thing.
Yeah, exactly. That told people that, hey, I finished King's Fall, or this randomly dropped for me during this raid or something like that. Sometimes they can do that. For the most part, you can still buy them, and so it's not really big of a deal.
I mean, I'm still rocking with the buckthorn approach.
Yeah,
it looks good with a certain shader I got. Just stuck it on there. There you go.
Have you messed around with the transmog system?
Yeah, with the armor and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've done that before because I've had to get remake armor pieces for my alt characters. So I just found a legendary piece of equipment, found the piece that I wanted to match up with, and there you go. Because a lot of that stuff was sunset. I can't increase the power level for, so I had to get the new version of it.
By the way, the Destiny 2 and all the expansions and everything else it has been free to play for the entire week. So you get a week to play all of that content for free. They also got added to the Epic Game Store. And which again, it's free to play, so you can just download it on there. The 30th anniversary pack is also completely free on the Epic Game Store. So you can actually get that there as well. But that's only through the Epic Game Store, and that's on PC. And from what I understand, it'll still be, even though they're on PC, just like they are with console, Steam, Epic Game Store are completely separate things. People on Steam are playing with people on Steam. Well, actually, it's all cross-play now, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so interesting. Anyway, we're at the top of the hour. We're going to come back and talk about Gamescom, because there was a ton of stuff out of Gamescom, and we're going to try and hit as much of it as we can. At least tell you what was shown off there, if not give you some opinion about some of it. I watched some, and I've had to go back and catch up to some. Oh, man. We got gameplay of Recreation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How you like? Did it catch your interest?
Within the first 2 minutes, I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I am sold. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can go find that video and post it in the chat room there. But we'll come back with that. We've got music here from Thymesia. Thymesia. Thymesia, I think. It could be Thymesia. It could be... Well, yeah, it could be Thymesia. I don't know. It's like amnesia, but Thymesia. I don't know. It's the theme song for it.
Close enough.
We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat after this. I think it's a scary, spooky game. Welcome back to In-Game Chat Music here. Track is called Red Eyes. It's from a game called Midnight Fight Express. I was kind of sold on it when I saw some game. This was shown off at, I think it was E3, maybe, in like a little game montage of different stuff. And I was like, whatever that is, kind of looks interesting. Midnight Fight Express. I need to remember that. And here we are coming upon the release, which I think is this coming week. It will be a game that is on Game Pass, by the way. Mm-hmm. So if you have Game Pass, you'll be able to play it. I don't know if it'll be PC only or Xbox or both. Console and PC, but Midnight Fight Express. Watching a reviewer, God, I think it was GameSpot that was doing the review. God, the guy who was reading the review or narrating the review sounded like he was filling in for somebody. It's not he was bad, because I really can't critique, but there was no like enthusiasm in the voice. You know, I mean, he was actually praising the game, but he just.
Let me guess, he was trying to sound so...
No, I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to
get everything so right that it just deadpan straight through
Possibly
the entire thing.
Trying to get it right, and maybe it was his first time doing it, so he was just really being...
There's a lot of people who would like try to make every word sound so perfect they forget the inflection and the tone.
That, or he just didn't want to go back and do any edits, and so he just read it in one take, and said, I'm just going to read this as it's written. I'm not going to emphasize or embellish or anything else. I'm just going to read it like it is.
Every word must be perfect. Therefore, that type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Midnight Fight Express is kind of isometric. It's top down with a little bit of a tilt, isometric top down view, and it's seemingly. It's Batman Arkham Combat, in that same style, which I'm okay with. That was basically one of my favorite parts of the Batman Arkham games, was the combat system. I would rank myself up as far as I could so that then I could go into the challenge modes and do just the fighting stuff, the 100 versus 1 or the 1 versus 100 thing that they did or whatever it was. That was so much fun. The combat was great in those games. So yeah, I'm very, very eager to see about Midnight Fight Express, which will be coming out soon. Speaking of other games that are coming out soon, Gamescom did their little thing on Tuesday as well. It was a big day for games. Destiny started first, and then immediately after, it was like, here, take a 30-minute break, and then boom, Gamescom is starting. So... this was just a lot of stuff. We got a date for Return to Monkey Island, which is, Matt were here. He'd tell you all about it. Monkey Island was a game back in the early 90s or mid-90s, I suppose. LucasArts did it. It was a nice little point-and-click type stuff. And now you've got Return to Monkey Island, kind of a reboot type stuff. Not even reboot. I think it's an actual sequel. But yeah, the Escape from Monkey Island series. It's coming out on September the 19th. It's been around since 1997. So, yeah. I think it's actually been around earlier than that, actually. But yeah, September 19th is when that's going to be released. We got a new trailer, actually kind of an announcement trailer for... It's literally called New Tales from the Borderlands. So it's a sequel to Tales of the Borderlands, I suppose. It's going to be out October the 21st. We got Homeworld 3, gameplay trailer for Homeworld 3. It'll be out next year. But if you liked Homeworld 1 and 2, then you're going to like 3. I'm kind of interested in looking at 3, though. I did play 2, kind of, sort of, a little bit. I couldn't figure out really how to play 2. I think I could figure it out now, but it was lost on me when I tried to play it. Dead Island 2. There was a trailer for that. Dead Island 2 was announced back in 2014. That thing's been through some development issues.
Yeah.
To say the least. 2014, the game's been announced. I remember saying this. I think I was at E3, one of the E3s whenever, I would have been at 2014, where they showed off the trailer for it. Or it wasn't a trailer, it was an announcement. Because there was absolutely no gameplay in it whatsoever. There's gameplay in this trailer for Dead Island 2. Yeah. I guess it comes out. I don't know if it comes out later this year or next year. Probably next year.
I'll give it next year. Based on what it's been through, probably going to suffer a pushback.
I would think so. There was another game announced, and I'm going down this list that Kotaku has up. So this was not in any kind of order of when they announced it. Game called Lies of P. Did you see any of that?
I think I heard of that. Saw a little bit of it. It was like,
It's a Souls-like Pinocchio game.
yeah.
Right? It's based on Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
It was first announced in May of last year, finally revealed some of its gameplay. It's basically Bloodborne for the puppets. Mm-hmm. It did look... The setting, the aesthetic, all of that looked really great. I don't necessarily know they can get the mechanics of the gameplay down because, I mean, if you're trying to mimic From Software, you really got to be good at doing that. I mean, if you want to do that. If you want to call it Souls-like, that's fine. But it didn't look like they were trying to be a Souls-like. They were trying to be, we're going directly for this Bloodborne look. Or mechanic or game.
Yeah, the look, yeah.
Yeah, and everything else. That was interesting.
You got the steampunk Victorian age looking thing going on, yeah, so you got that at least, yeah.
Like I would actually like a story set game like that. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. Like what...
I mean, you can get the look right, but you got to get the gameplay and everything else in there. I mean, like The Order, 1886.
1886,
yeah. Had that exact same Victorian age setting, but the how linear it was and short. I mean, it's pretty, but the gameplay didn't pull it off for folks.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so.
No, it did not. Thar66 says, nothing they showed made me think of Pinocchio. And yeah, I was exactly... So how does this nose come into play? And maybe that's not... You know what? I've never actually read the original Pinocchio. I only know Pinocchio from what Disney wanted to tell me that Pinocchio is.
But Disney makes the sanitized, the cleaner version.
Right. Exactly. It's completely sugar-coated. So...
Yeah. There you go. Sugar-coated.
Yeah, exactly. Candy for kids. Yeah. And so I'm kind of curious as to, like, what is the original story of Pinocchio? And now I'm actually kind of interested in that. I know who's doing that. Del Toro, I think, is doing a movie based on Pinocchio. Mm. But it's based on not the Disney version of Pinocchio. It's based on
the real Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The actual story. Mm-hmm. The original story that the cartoon stuff's based on. Yeah. We saw a trailer for Blacktail. I don't remember seeing this one. Or maybe I did. This is the indie game about Baba Yaga. Oh, John Wick. Showing off first-person archery and some survival elements. The game currently has a 20% off pre-purchase promotion on Steam through December 15th. We got more info about Dying Light 2 Bloody Ties, which is the expansion. That is October the 13th when that'll come out. Cinematics for Destiny 2 Lightfall. Sonic Frontiers. We got a date for that one, November. And we got some more story content and some more gameplay footage. I'm down for that. What I've seen of Sonic Frontiers, I'm actually in for it. I understand it's raining. Huh. Great. This is the second weekend in a row I got to walk out of there with groceries to the car.
Yeah. It's raining and the sun's out.
I know.
Yeah, so.
Which means it's miserably hot. Just icky. Yeah, Sonic Frontiers. I am not by any means a diehard Sonic person. I'm not. I can't play a Sonic game and tell you, well, this is borrowing this from Sonic whatever, and it's also pulling from this and this. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that enough to tell you. But what I did see from Sonic Frontiers was like, I really like what I'm seeing here. So I'm kind of interested in this. But even this little tidbit here says, Sonic Frontiers showed a little story content. Fans remain skeptical. Why? What are they skeptical about?
Remember, they were still talking about the speed of the game.
Maybe.
It was the speed of the game because Sonic is all about speed, and it looked slow. So they got time to fix that issue. So people have taken a wait and see approach on that.
Yeah, but there were sections in there where he was really fast, I thought. Because it's like there's this open world hub, apparently. And then there's certain sections of this where you will get transported. Because I remember I saw some of the old Sonic levels, but they were in a different, like, 3D thing. I was like, okay, that looks familiar and neat and cool. And then there was like a cityscape and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's new. I don't know. I'm interested, but we'll see. We'll see. Star Rail got a new trailer. Don't know much about it. Goat Simulator 3 was shown off. Genshin Impact, is that what that is? Genshin? It's Genshin or Genshin?
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact 3.0 is getting released already on the 23rd. Gotham Knights is coming out on October the 21st. There was some more gameplay added to that. I don't know where I am on that game.
Really?
I mean, I want my Arkham, I want my Batman game, and I know that's a Batman game without Batman.
That ain't a Batman game.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not called Batman. It's called Gotham Knights. So, I mean, maybe I should take that as a hint. But yeah, it's still, I don't know. It's got hints of Arkham in it. I've watched gameplay, which.
Yeah, I think I saw that Harley Quinn boss fight video that came out recently.
Yeah, dialogue's crap in this thing. The dialogue and the animation of the dialogue, though, that's fine because that's never really been, I haven't gone into a store and asked the clerk, well, how is the animation on the dialogue? Because that's my buying point. It's not. Yeah. So I can't, it's not that I don't want to hold it against it, but I watched some more video of like the skill tree system. The leveling up, the different things like that, and I was curious about it. It looked intriguing. Combat and stuff like that. I was like, okay, it's. I'm not amped, man. I'm not like pumped about it, and I'm not overly excited. Like this is the one I can't wait for, type of thing. It's not like what I did when Batman Arkham City released, and I actually took the day off to play it.
Yeah,
which is odd because. Well, I say odd, but I had never done that before. I'd never taken a day off to play a video game, and it was also.
I've done it a couple of times in my life. Yeah,
it was also my birthday.
Yeah,
so I took it off because it was my birthday and the game came out at the same day, and I was like, I'm going to play it, and so I did.
Haven't seen anything that inclined me to do that.
No,
since though nothing since. Yeah,
no, and I'll never do what I did again for that day one raid stuff. I'll never do that again. I mean, not that it mattered of anything that I did, but I've never made an attempt to it, and there we go, and so that's it. I am not ever going to make another attempt at it.
Well, you can say you did it at least once. You tried it once.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
So cross that off the list.
I know, but I did so much in prep and everything else, and I'm like, okay, well that doesn't. The prep I didn't mind. The fact that I got so far into the season already. And we haven't even been a week into the game, I'm okay with that. I might run that again, but I'm not as concerned about it. And I will definitely not do another day one. So I'm fine with that. But I never took off for a Burnout game, which is interesting because you would think that I would have. But no, a Batman Arkham City, the sequel, the first sequel they did, and I took the day off for it. So, So yeah,
Street Fighter V when it first released, that was mine.
Yeah,
when I did that one.
Have you done others?
Well, not technically took a day off, but I went into GameStop before work to pick up my Dreamcast and the 3 or 4 launch titles.
Okay.
That day, I was at Eastel. I was at Eastel Mall, went to the shop there and picked it up. I think it was called Electronics Boutique at the time.
It probably was, yeah.
And I took
EB Games
or something like that, yeah.
Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, so I took it, so I got it there and took it home, hooked it up, played it a little bit, went to work, Completed the shift, came back home, finished when I started. So yeah, good times in. But yeah, I definitely remember taking off work for Street Fighter V. Yeah, but like I said, I hadn't seen anything that made me do it since.
Yeah, I've never done. I only did it for Batman, and that was Arkham City. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's how much I like the games, and so I'm looking for my Batman fix. I'm not getting that with whatever it is, Rocksteady, who are the original developers of that game, or those series of games. Mm-hmm. Their new game, Suicide Squad, is not giving me the Batman that I want, or at least the kind of game mechanics and everything else.
Yeah.
My best bet is what this Gotham Knights is offering. So, the more I see of it, the more I'm like, all right, some of that stuff's there. I can see it under the hood,
Mm-hmm.
Different body, but the mechanics is still got the guts of the thing. But I don't know. We'll see. There, if you want to talk about fans remain skeptical, like the Sonic thing, there you go. Yeah. I remain skeptical on that Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not looking at Sonic Frontiers like it's amazing either, and that I'm going to be there day one. I just like what I see of Sonic Frontiers so far.
Yeah.
Let's see, Warhammer 40,000. That is Dark Tide. It's available for free purchase. Comes out November 30th. Let's see, Dorfromantik coming to Nintendo Switch. The Outlast Trials has a trailer for its closed beta trials. They're going to start October 28th through November 1st, just a few days there. The first thing they showed off, though, the first world premiere we got at Gamescom was Dune Awakening, which takes place in the universe of Dune. And I really liked the fact that we're getting a Doom game. I did not see any gameplay. There was no gameplay for this thing. It was just an announcement. But I'm curious as to what that is, how that is going to unfold. Is it a games as service type thing? Is it a story-driven game? Is it a MMO game? What is it? I don't know anything. Survival MMO, Thar66 says. We'll see. Depends on what kind of survival we're talking about. Sleep, food, water, that sort of thing. Or
got New Vegas vibes coming?
I don't know. Not just New Vegas, but I keep thinking of We Happy Few, which was...
Bad survival technique?
Too much. Too micromanaging type stuff. Yeah. Hey, your guy's thirsty, you need to go drink. Hey, he's also hungry. Don't forget, he needs to sleep.
Yeah, exactly what happened in the hardcore mode of New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having to worry about stuff that you've never had to worry about before. Now you do.
Atlas Fallen, which is from a company called Deck 13. You're a nomad on a desert planet. Some sort of sand-bending abilities. They said the bit of gameplay near the end looks very Souls-like, but if Souls had high-speed sand surfing. I don't know. Let's see, what else did we get? Friends versus Friends. Trying to see what it is. Brief gameplay that ends reveals the game to be a legit first-person shooter with some sort of card or deck-building component. I was not pulled into that at all.
Yeah, I've never been into the real card game, deck pulling thing. I've never really got into that.
The Lords of the Fallen, the reboot action role-playing game Lords of the Fallen was first released in 2014, and they've rebooted it.
Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
I'm trying to think. Is that the one that looked like that dude that looked like Tom Selleck on the cover?
I don't know.
Let's see. Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, that's it.
Is that the right one?
Yeah. Action role-playing video game developed by Deck 13 Interactive, and CI Games, released October 2014 for PS4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. This was called...
Spell it.
Well, that's weird. Hang on. I need to go to the trailer on this because they've got something... Because it's weird. The article spells it one way, but the name of the trailer spells it a different way. Oh, it's from Obsidian? I think. What is it? Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Elder Scrolls 5, Dragon Age, Fallout 4, The Outer Worlds. Yeah, that sounds like Obsidian. Wyrosong? Wyrosong. That is not a trailer I watched, I don't believe. RPG fans got thrown some red meat in the very brief debut trailer for Wyrosong. There's an eclipse and a word of some evil force, but what really got everyone's attention was by the makers of Fallout, Skyrim, and Dragon Age Inquisition. So that is why. Some other upcoming games we got glimpses of was Moving Out 2, Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale, Under the Waves, Where Minds Meet, Park Beyond, Phantom Hellcat, and the finals. There was also a game called Everywhere that was announced. It's a new game from former Rockstar Games lead developer. And we don't know anything about what it's about, when it comes out. It's a very space-type, elemental-type game with, space stuff. But we don't know what it is. But it's called Everywhere. Gameplay of Callisto Protocol. That's the same people that did Dead Space.
Dead Space, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Callisto Protocol, they say in this article here, which is not Dead Space, but is by the creator of Dead Space and looks an awful lot like Dead Space, will be released December the 2nd.
What's that term they call a spiritual successor? Now it's raining.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I sat in the car, I looked at my watch, and I thought, I don't need to bring the umbrella.
No. It's raining because the umbrella's in the car.
Exactly.
That's why. Yeah. Oh well, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I was trying to say, what's the term? The spiritual successor?
Right, there's that.
Not quite the successor, but it kind of is the successor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
this isn't a sequel because we don't have the rights to call it a sequel, but it's a sequel.
It is a sequel, yeah.
We just changed the names of everybody in it. It looks different, but trust us, this is carrying on the legacy of that game.
Despite the fact that Dead Space 3 ended with a cliffhanger that said that clearly said it was coming with a sequel.
Like, did you look at that? Did you look at that gameplay trailer of Recreation that I put in the trailer?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
that's
Burnout.
That's Burnout. Yeah, that's Burnout, man. Good looking Burnout.
Yeah, that's Burnout. That is Burnout for you. You know, you'd ran somebody into the guardrail and it's slow mode and focused on them. It was doing a takedown. Cars were flipping around. I'm like, yeah, it's Burnout. It's not called Burnout, but it's a spiritual successor.
Yeah, so the thing with folks actually not involved in the race getting out of the way.
Yeah.
That's also that part. Usually in games like that, they always just obstruct traffic, just there to mess you up. Now they're actively getting out of Dodge.
Another game that was announced at Gamescom was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the video game. Mm-hmm. Based on Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the movie from 1988.
If you never saw it, look at it.
Oh, please do. It's an awful movie, but it is so good.
Yeah, it's one of them so bad, it's actually good.
It's an awful movie, but it is so good.
It's a terrible movie, but the plot is just enough to keep you interested for some reason.
I know.
Throughout the whole thing.
It comes out early 2023. It is by the creators who made Friday the 13th, the game. So, yeah. Moonbreaker, a turn-based sci-fi game from the creators of Subnautica. It's going to be out early access on Steam September the 29th. Brandon Sanderson, the sci-fi author, he is the writer on this game and created the world for it as well. So if you know anything about him, he did a Kickstarter recently that just went nuts. Just tons of money thrown at him. Mm-hmm. Stupid rain. We also got to see The Expanse, a Telltale series. Mm-hmm. It is an adventure game brand based on what we saw. The new project based on The Expanse looks pretty high budget, even has a few novel gameplay ideas. I did not watch the trailer on that. I need to go back and see some of these. We saw more from High on Life. It's the game from Justin Roiland, who did Rick and Morty. This is the one where your guns are alien beings and they talk to you. Mm-hmm. Your weapons do. I say your guns, but your weapons do.
Yeah.
I saw a 25-minute gameplay for that thing. Wow. It's called High on Life for a reason. It really feels like you would enjoy this if you were altered just a bit. Let's see. Stranded, Alien Dawn was shown off. Hard Space, Shipbreaker, and Scars Above as well. And I think that covers Gamescom. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I need to get more water and drink some more. I talk too much. This is music. We got to take a break. We're way behind. Music from Escape Academy. It is called Break In to Break Out. Yeah, brain. We will be back with more of in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chats. The track is called Intersections of Time. And it was used to it's really good. Very bombastic. But yeah, Intersections of Time, it was used to, as they showed off the trailer for the King's Fall raid returning, this is the music that they played. I don't actually think I think it was just licensed out. I don't think it's actually, anything Destiny or Bungie used to use for that. Yeah. Music from Saints Row is what's going to close us out, by the way, because that came out. And I was kind of interested in how that was going. Just some other little quick hits on news here. The PlayStation 5 price is going up in a lot of other markets, but not here in the States yet. Anyway, I don't necessarily know that it may still go up here as well. But
still not interested in picking one up right now.
Yeah,
still, the titles still just aren't there for me.
That's understandable. I totally get it. So, in fact, I'm probably not going to turn on my PlayStation 5 until God of War hits Ragnarok in November. I mean, I can't think of anything else that I would, because I mean, I got Game Pass. So if I'm looking for, that's kind of like I'll pop on Game Pass every now and again and go through the menu of like, hey, what's here, what's new, what's been added, or what's.
Yeah. I mean, truth be told, I need to look at the list of upcoming titles for the PS5, because still the only thing that piqued my interest was the remake of Demon Souls, and outside of that, I haven't seen anything that makes me want to pick up the PS5 now, because the titles just aren't there. So I just need to refresh my memory of what's coming out and when, and see if it's enough to push me over the hump. But if not, I'll just wait a while, keep waiting.
Yeah. Gotham Knights, like I said, is probably not something. Gotham Knights is something I could pick up on any of the platforms. Trying to think of something that might bring me over to play on a PlayStation 5, and then I can't think of anything at the moment other than God of War.
Yeah.
Being the exclusive that is. I'm not even interested, and I've seen some trailers, but I have absolute no interest in Last of Us Part 1 remaster, whatever the thing they're doing.
I played it already.
I have.
It's a story.
I even played it when it was remastered.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Yeah, because it went from PS3 to PS4, and
right.
I played the remaster of that. Then they remastered it again for PS5.
No. I mean, look, Last of Us, like we said before, Last of Us is a purely story-based game, and I've seen that story. I've watched that movie.
Twice.
Yeah, so I don't need to see it anymore.
And it is good. It is good. And there may come a time where I feel like I want to do it again, but it ain't going to be this September, and it'll probably be when I pick it up on, like, PlayStation Plus thing, when it's,
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, free with subscription or something like that. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Resogun was good. That reminds me, it makes me want to play, what was that game I really wanted to play? It's by the makers of Resogun. What's the one? It came out not too long ago. It was an exclusive, and it was almost a launch title. Returnal.
Returnal.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is. Returnal. Still interested in playing that, by the way.
Did Control still $10 or whatever?
The game Control?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
There was a time when that price just dropped like out of nowhere. Yeah.
PlayStation VR 2 launches in early 2023. We did get that. The Game Awards are coming back this December the 8th, by the way. If you're looking for our next big thing of game reveals and game trailers, will happen at the Game Awards on December the 8th. They call them the Game Awards. They just Game Awards plus game reveals or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's more reveals than it is awards, and it'll be. I expect the exact same thing that I got last year, as far as here's how we are honoring all these games, which is basically just to briefly mention that they won an award. Now here's new stuff. So
We're talking about that 3 hours.
2.5, 3 hour thing, and it's mostly just reveals, and I'm totally fine with it being that way. But
How much of it is fluff?
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to do a game awards, stick to awards. Yeah. You don't need to show off new stuff at your game awards. You need to give out game awards at your award show.
I still like doing that over under 40% fluff. On these award shows.
Yeah.
Would you take the over and under on that one?
As far as how much was awards
fluff,
and how much was
fluff,
was trailer? Yeah. No, it's at this point it's 10% maybe of awards. 90% stuff that's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very, very interested in Returnal. I have been. That thing has not dropped in price at all. What else do we have? Game Awards. Okay, fine. Then we can jump into Saints Row. And I haven't played it. RJ hasn't played it. I know Lethal Migraine has played it. I don't think Matt's played it. He's been too busy playing Spider-Man on the PC since he was able to do that. Reviews for the open-world crime game developed by Volition are out tomorrow for consoles and PC, and are in, and so far they're
not kind, is what they say. It's a full-on reboot of Volition's long-running series of GTA clones, which hasn't seen a new entry since 2013 Saints Row 4, unless you count the standalone 2015 expansion, but I don't, because it was still tied into that. Mm-hmm. Saints Row was initially part of the February 2022 release onslaught, which included the likes of Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, Elden Ring, that sort of thing, but then they delayed it to August because it needed some polish. All the polish in the world can't save the game that appears by many accounts fundamentally broken. Right now, Saints Row is sitting at a 63 now at the time of this article, which is not today. It was earlier this week. Mm-hmm. It was sitting at a 63 on Metacritic, which they say is a rare low point for a critical beat that tends to collectively treat 7 out of 10s as an absolute baseline. 63 doesn't seem too bad. Well, maybe. It's closer to 50% than it is to 100%. Mm-hmm. So maybe it is, but I don't know. 63 doesn't seem like a hard one. Or not a hard one, but like it's a,
It's like a meh territory right now. Yeah.
Some reviewers praise part of Saints Row, including its character creator. No kidding. Character creator in Saints Row has always been top notch.
Top notch, yeah. Very good. They just all they did was like put it on for the. I remember for 3, the third, they just put the character creator on for the demo, and you could have hours of fun with that.
Can you hear that in your headset?
Yes.
Can you hear? I'm going to turn the mic up real quick. Hang on. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's the rain.
Yeah, we have wind-assisted buckets of rain coming off of the roof of our building right now.
Massive.
Mm-hmm.
There is a stream coming off the roof.
Take your hose, turn it on, put it on the roof, and that's pretty much what it's like out here right now.
Just, God.
Yeah.
There's no thunder or lightning or anything like that. I mean, there's nothing bad going. It's just a downpour of rain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see. What else? Where were we? We were talking about Saints Row. Yes. Yeah. Sure, some reviews of the character creator and its new setting. NPR described the writing as witty and compelling, but many reviewers were largely negative. The AV Club said Saints Row is dull, buggy, and has flashy concepts. But very few ideas on how to execute them. VGC called it painfully generic. Inverse deemed it a middling experience. Ars Technica said it's beyond redemption. Kotaku hasn't reviewed it, so they haven't really talked about it. Mm-hmm. AV Club says Saints Row is a confusing game on multiple levels. I can't say I didn't have fun with it. There was a compulsive pleasure in open-world gaming that's hard to tamp down, no matter how intent the game seems to be on keeping its players from enjoying themselves too much. Its tonal issues are, weirdly, a function of making its characters too likable instead of not enough. And it desperately wants you to think you're having fun without ever providing concrete steps towards giving players more to do than function in a very rote loop. NPR, reviewing games, said, this year's reboot of Saints Row presents a sunny sandbox bursting with hijinks and witty banter. That's good. It shines when it does what it's always done best, trading GTA's cynicism for gonzo humor and earnest character portraits. That's what we always said. We liked the fact, this is why we always liked Saints Row, because it played off of GTA, but did not take itself as serious as GTA did. GTA doesn't take itself seriously anymore. Well, maybe it does. Yeah, GTA 5 did. I was thinking of Vice City mainly. Vice City seemed like a...
It's got that Rockstar has that edgy, real edgy humor, but the main situation in the storylines are always the gritty,
right,
gritty, realistic type of situation. I mean, Vice City was basically dude trying to recover from the betrayal that he faced from his boss.
Yep.
Back then, right? And Vive is of course that whole situation. Michael trying to get out of the game, and now he's got to go back into it because of his situation. Mm-hmm. You know, it's some real crime that they got to go through with that. But Saints Row, no, it's a little off the beat path, so to speak.
Yeah. I'll pick it up when it drops in price, or if it hits Game Pass or something. Yeah. It may be on Game Pass. I don't think it is, but I'll eventually take a look at it.
Yeah, I think with the thing I think I was mentioning before that I think what a lot of people were talking about negatively about Saints Row, the new one, I kept hearing cringe. A lot of cringe in the dialogue and whatnot, and things like that.
Maybe, I don't know.
They had issues with the characters, especially not your character. You can make it any way you want to, but the other characters in the game, the part of your crew, I guess. I think those are the ones they call generic, and I think when someone put it as like Twitter characters or something, like someone from Twitter or whatnot.
Okay,
a representation of what Twitter was like. That's how they put it. Not my quote, but. Yeah, they just didn't like the characters in the game. Of course, the bugs and glitches that people were talking about. And I think that famous one that people were putting out all over the place, where the last boss of the game, the glitch that happened with that one over and over again, that was something that was talked about a lot as well. Now, it's nothing with the gameplay. I haven't heard anything negative about the gameplay of it at all. I mean, you can still have fun with the game despite the glitches and whatnot, but it's just the dialogue and the story and the glitches was the most what people had issues with the new remake.
This is music from Saints Row. It's from the main menu of the game. The new Saints Row, not the old Saints Row. Anyway, we want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room. Let me get a real quick roll call in. I can do that real fast. OAX2, Aux2, something like that. Bama Brian, Commander Root, Drunk Degenerates, Feet. Somebody named Feet.
Yeah, that's your favorite name, man.
Well, you know. Let's see. Lethal Migraine, Sarania, Stephen Van Dam, Thar66, and XYFM hanging out in the chat room. AC Wraith as well. Thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. Thanks everybody who called in. Well, thanks Chris who called in. Oh, shut up, Siri. And thanks for watching the show. Don't forget, we're off next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube and Twitch as well. I was going to say Switch, but Twitch also. Jump into our Discord if you want to talk to us. It's always great to hear from you. Thanks, everybody, for having a great, great show. We're going to make it through this weather out here.
It's just rain, man.
I know. Bye.